Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our April City Council meeting. If we could, stand for the Pledge of Allegiance in a moment of silent prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Before we go any further, we have some guests here tonight from the Concord Youth Council. If they could please stand, let the audience see them, and tell me what school you are, what grade you're in. Well, thank you for being here tonight. Let's give them a round of applause. Do we have any scouts here tonight? Okay. All right, we'll move on to our agenda. We have approval of minutes from February 21st, March 7th, and March 9th. Is there a motion?
So moved, Mayor. I'll second that.
A motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you very much. We do have a council member that's listening in tonight. Due to by state law, he cannot vote, but he can listen and ask questions. So, Councilmember King, can you hear us here?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Technology Department, for making this happen. Thanks, Mayor.
Very good. Good to hear you're somewhere up there. All right, we're going to have three presentations. The first is presentation of the proclamation recognizing April 28th, 2023 as National Line Worker Appreciation Day in the city of Concord. Alex, if you and your staff could come forward, I'm going to read this, present it. Alex. Let me, I'm going to go ahead and read the proclamation. Then I want you to tell us a little bit about the details of the life of the line. Yes, sir. This is a proclamation for the Line Workers Appreciation Day. Whereas January 3rd, 2017, the 115th Congress of the United States adopted the House Resolution 10 recognizing line workers, the professional line workers, the contribution of these brave men and women they make to the public safety, expressing support for the designation of April 18th as National Lineman Appreciation Day. Whereas the city of Concord, the council celebrates the profession of electric line workers and wishes to honor the Electric Systems Department personnel for their exemplary service to Concord and the citizens. And whereas the electric utilities employ a special class of employees, electric line workers, responsible for building and maintaining the distribution lines that bring electricity to homes and businesses, constantly devoting themselves to their duties. Whereas the profession demands passion, dedication, and ongoing training, it requires line workers to maintain the lines around the clock, ensuring they can provide safe, reliable energy to the community. And whereas line workers are often first responders during storms, working to repair broken and damaged electric lines under hazardous conditions in order to make the area safe for other public safety heroes. Whereas line workers play a vital role in the lives of our citizens by maintaining and growing our electrical infrastructure and putting their lives on the line every day by working with many dangers of high voltage. And whereas the line workers of the Concord Electric Systems, their example of service above self and deserving the respect, admiration, and appreciation of all citizens of Concord. Now therefore, I, William C. Dush, Mayor of the City of Council, on behalf of the Concord City Council, do hereby proclaim April 18th, 2023 in the City of Concord as Line Workers Appreciation Day. Let's give them a round of applause. Alex, you want to give us a little bit of
Yes, sir.
detail here?
Mayor, you spoke about service over self. These two young men standing up here with me today, they
Well, I'm going to read the proclamation, then I want you to
Absolutely.
Whereas emergencies that require police, fire, and emergency medical services can occur at any time. And whereas when the emergency occurs, the prompt response of law enforcement officers and firefighters is critical to the protection of life and preservation of property. Whereas the safety of our law enforcement officers and firefighters depend in part upon the quality and accuracy of the information obtained from people who contact the Concord Communication Center. Whereas the public safety telecommunicators are the first contact many people have with emergency services and provide critical service 24 hours a day. Whereas the public safety telecommunicators are a lifeline for our law enforcement officers and firefighters, monitoring their activities by radio and providing them information to help ensure their safety. And whereas the City of Concord public safety telecommunicators have contributed substantially to criminal apprehensions, suppression of fires, and treatment of patients in the processing of over 140,000 calls for service. Whereas each public safety telecommunicator exhibits compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of their duties. I, therefore, William C. Dush, Mayor of the City of Concord, along with the City Council of the City of Concord, do proclaim April 9th through 15th, 2023 as National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in Concord, North Carolina. Give them a round of applause. So tell us a little bit more.
I just always appreciate great opportunity to highlight all of the
Wallace report. We'll move to department reports, and we have a streetscape update.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Call on Kaylee at this time to come up. I believe she's going to do the first part of this update, and then Paige is going to come up and finish up. This is the monthly update to council on the streetscape work going on in downtown. So, Kaylee?
This month. So diving straight in, we have completed up to 90% of the 16-inch water main installation in the current work zone on Union Street. That's from the mid-block to Corbin Avenue. Currently, the crews are working on testing that new water main to meet state requirements, and they will get started on storm drainage from Barbrick to Corbin Avenue soon. Next, looking kind of a few weeks out to a month out, following the storm drainage work, they will begin installing the new water services to the buildings. That may be shifted a little bit from the update we gave last month. So it'll be after the storm drainage installation, and I'll talk a little bit why we're doing that. And then the contractor will still work to minimize the impact to businesses during those new water services and that transition. So just to touch on some of the photos, this was posted on our streetscape updates we've been doing weekly. So they found a little bit of a remnant of an old wooden conduit, which was kind of interesting, on Union Street. And it was installed just under the old surface of the road, which you can kind of see that break between the new road and the old kind of stone. This is an installation of a tap for the air release valve on the water main, and then this is actually that release valve for the testing. So just some pictures there. Some drone images that were taken yesterday morning, looking at this current construction zone. We're right above the mid-block, looking down toward Corbin Avenue. So you can see where that water line has been trenched in. This is looking, of course, at the new construction of the courthouse and the Means Plaza, which has come along quite a bit from last month, as well as a streetscape, and then a pretty good overview of all the projects happening with the Novi projects, some other renovations, and the Union Street work. So I'm not going to go over the whole timeline that I did last month, but wanting to zoom in on where we are now. The fencing is where this dashed line is from the mid-block to Corbin. Current work zone, as I mentioned, the water line's about 90% complete, and they're going to get started on storm drainage from Barbrick to Corbin next week. And part of the reasoning for that is because once the county finishes up their addition and the Means Plaza, they are going to then renovate the existing courthouse. And they will have construction fencing out on Union and Corbin Avenue, and so we really want to get the work done as much as possible there to get out of their way. Then they'll work on the storm drain toward the mid-block. Following that, we will see the work zone shift between Cabarrus and Barbrick. So same sort of footprint, just moving up that direction. Another change from last month is we're actually going to see some of the curb work being done in the current work zone before they make that shift up. So they plan on installing those curbs while they move up to Union, still coming back to kind of complete the sidewalk work. But that way they can do some of the road work in the sections that they're working on as they move ahead. As we get closer to some of those transition periods, I'll be able to provide more details. Some changes and modifications to help with the construction. Temporary lighting was added to Market Street Passageway, as you can see in this image here. Buildings and Grounds assisted with that, and we're currently looking at other opportunities where we might be able to do the same to provide a little bit more light. Once we've maybe added a few, we'll evaluate if some of those solar lights can be adjusted from these brighter areas to some of the darker areas. Also looking at the website, we've been updating weekly. Social media posts go out weekly, but then on the website we provide a little bit more information, some larger images people can go there to see. Again, every Friday morning as we try to get that out. Just a reminding about parking, nothing has actually changed since March, since we're working in the same work zone, but I always like to remind people that the map is available at the website for them to view availability for parking, both on street and in the parking decks and lots. And then as you saw last month, we did mock-ups of the construction fencing that has now been printed and installed, and those were printed and installed by a local downtown vendor for us. We did meet our goal of getting it up before Art Walk at the end of last month. A closer look at the timeline. There's 2 of these, one on either side of the sidewalk, and then 2 of the support local signs as well. And then last for me, before I turn it over to Paige, I wanted to kind of give a glimpse at what's to come. So we worked with the county to install the same smart streetlight system in the county poles that will be on Union Street. So we worked with, the county was responsible for procuring the poles, the city was responsible for the contract with the Illuminating Concepts and Telestreet system. And as a result, the county's plaza will be integrated into our downtown streetscape. So what that means is these are the mosaic poles, these 8 here. You can see they're lit up in this example in blue, but we can actually change that to any color, like full spectrum availability for the light there. And I'm going to quickly play, this is actually when they were testing it out up in Michigan when they were installing the system. So I won't play the whole thing, but you can see and hear that we'll have the capabilities of playing music as well in the downtown through those poles and on the plaza. And with that, I'll pass it over to Paige.
First and foremost, I would like to welcome our newest team member to Downtown Concord, Cherie Allen. Cherie is with us tonight. Cherie is, Cherie is our Downtown Development Coordinator. Cherie will, among many other things, be creating and managing social media campaigns, newsletter, and other marketing efforts. She will help coordinate and implement our downtown events and assist with daily communications and touch points, really getting to know our businesses in downtown and sharing their stories. We will continue with many of our communication outlets as we have been doing. We have our monthly merchant letter, which we email to our merchants and property owners in downtown Concord. Direct emails in between those when important information comes up. E-newsletter to our subscribers. Hope everyone in the room is subscribing to the Downtown Concord website, newsletter. Regularly scheduled merchant meetings, social media posts, in-person visits to businesses from our staff, and department meetings, which we hope to move forward with soon within the City of Concord departments. So it's very important that we really get to communicate with the businesses and the property owners and meet them where they are and meet them where their needs are. So we've sent out a survey to the businesses and property owners to find out when the best time and frequency is for them for these merchant meetings. We have heard back, and it looks like the majority would like to see every other month monthly meetings, and they would like to see those on a Monday and preferably in the earlier times of day. Topics of discussion that they would like to see, of course, include streetscape updates, ideas for inspiration around events in downtown, and any concerns that they may have at that time that they can bring to us. And of course, we'll evolve and find other topics to bring to those meetings as well. We have continued on with some great advertising. I hope everyone saw the feature in Cabarrus Weekly newsletter, as well as the post that they did on social media around the Art Walk. They really did a lot of great promotion around everything that was entailed with Art Walk. We really wish that we had Art Walk. It was going to be really fun. Unfortunately, we did have some high winds that day that created some safety issues, so we were not able to move forward with the event as planned. We will move forward with the event on June 24th. As we were planning to do at the past Art Walk, we will have a city table where we'll have information about the streetscape, where we can talk to people who are visiting and walking through all of the vendors. And Kaylee created these really cute coloring pages that tie right into the Art Walk, but also tie into our construction, so kids can come by and pick up some coloring pages, grab some crayons, and really liven up those coloring sheets. Again, activating downtown through events. So not all of the events look like they're really large festivals like Art Walk. We have our First Friday event series. These are designed for participating businesses to extend their hours. These are businesses who typically wouldn't stay open into the later evening or even early evening, really, on throughout the week. Retailers extending their hours to capture that traffic. People are coming down here to dine and eat and entertain with their families. So capturing those people and giving them somewhere to also shop and pop in. And also social Saturdays. This is something new that we will have the third Saturday of May and June. May 20th will be the first one. And this is where we're really hoping to capitalize on that space that we have that is open, where currently people can kind of park. We would eliminate that parking for the Saturday, bring in these beautiful tables and chairs, and provide people a place to just enjoy gathering together. And in addition, having some live music while they're out and about visiting our downtown merchants and retailers. So we're really excited about that. Keep your eyes and ears open for more information as that goes out. And we hope to then reevaluate as well to see if we can have that in the fall. It really is just, dependent on where we can do that based on the construction. Around social media, really working to make sure that our businesses are being featured and that we're driving people to downtown through those social media posts. Cherie has been working really hard on a new social media campaign, Feature Friday. So this is an opportunity to feature a business in downtown and kind of get behind that business. I hope that everyone saw the Feature Friday last Friday with Megan from Union Street Nutrition and learned a little bit more about her and why she started her business. This is something that's open to all businesses in the MSD. They've received communications with a form. They can sign up, and we'll work through them every Friday moving forward. So please remind yourself to take a look tomorrow to see who the featured business is on Friday. Again, regular promotions and communications around holidays and things like that, driving people into downtown, for instance, around Easter, getting people to shop, pick up their desserts, their pastries or their flowers, or maybe they're not cooking and they would like to have brunch, things like that. And of course, stay informed. Any questions?
Question from council. We appreciate all the effort you're making to make sure that everybody hears what's going on.
Thank you.
Very important. Thank you. All right, we are moving to recognitions of persons to be heard. Let me read this as to how this operates. Our time to recognize persons to be heard on the agenda is an opportunity to hear from anyone wishing to speak. This is a time of listening for the council. The subject will be noted, and if required action or request, the city manager will note such and provide steps for any required response or after action. Please leave your contact information details with the city clerk to facilitate the communications. Today I have two people who have signed up to speak. We'll have 3 minutes. Barbara Hawley. Welcome. Come on up.
Barbara Hawley. I have come in order to apply for city sewage and water. I live in the county, and I'm on the agenda tonight, but just a few things about that. I started the process on February the 16th and called City of Concord to get the paperwork to sign up. Unfortunately, was given the wrong paperwork, but let me say the person I talked to was just amazing, very nice. So did not get on the first agenda. Actually, I came back the day before that meeting in March and was told I'd have to wait till the next month to get on that meeting because I filled out the wrong form. So on the day before, I filled out the correct form and find that I am on the agenda tonight. So the thing is, my leach fields, I guess that's what you call it, got run over by Union Power. They came in my yard and pretty much destroyed them and knocked down my fence in the process too. So we rented a porta potty for the last couple months, and so that we wouldn't leak anything out onto any grounds or anybody's property. But just curious, also it said that the first person I called that gave me the wrong form, maybe I was supposed to talk to her because she said that I found out that I might have to ask the neighbors if I can come through their yard. But she told me that they had a rental property, two rental properties right behind me on Meredith Court, 1402 and 1354, that basically Union Power owns a easement through there, and that they would be the one to contact them and let me know and then proceed with that step at that time. So I guess that's my concern.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, Bishop Roland Jordan.
Welcome, Bishop.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Mayor, County Manager, Attorney, Secretary, and the council. I come here tonight as a Christian man, praise God, to make a difference when you hire people. I know my topic say black and white, but since we got Mexican, Indian, all kind of people, so I say all people. That's what God was about, all people. I'm not worthy to do God work, but I'm worthy to do things to ask him to help me do it, praise God. But we just had one representative, now Ms. Betty Stalk, but I need some of your whites to come and help her when we have some things going on in our community, very needed. You say affordable housing. Let's put a little word in there to say poor people. You need to make it so that poor people can live comfortable. Their family can live comfortable, whether they're black or white or any other kind of race. That's what we need in Concord. Downtown is beautiful, praise God. But you want a good downtown, let everybody be happy. Pitch in and do. Now, maybe we need a new black chief police when they retire, whenever, a new black sheriff or something like that. I'm speaking of my race, who I am, praise God. But not only is the color qualified, a people person, community. Keep drugs out of our neighborhood. Like I tell my drug dealers, you're not gonna bring that stuff. I end up with flat tires and other things. I call the police. Sometimes they come, sometimes they don't. But for 15 minutes, for 5 minutes to get down in my area, that's bad there. Praise God. That's when I got me a weapon to protect myself. I believe in defending myself. I'm about like Dr. King, I'm a peacemaker, but I'm a warrior. That's who I am. And God wants us to protect ourselves, you know, and protect our kids. And I don't believe in parents cussing their kids out. Nowhere I go, no matter what color you is, that's wrong. And I'm gonna say something, get chewed out, but I don't mind that neither. But they better not touch me, put it like that. Barbara Scotia College. The white brothers and them, I got to say white brothers and them, y'all took Logan away from us, praise God. But try not to take Barbara Scotia away from us. Help us, ask your kids to come. They might not want to come there, but we had to go to the y'all school, we had another choice. I think our people were scared. I wish I was living back then, I'd showed them something. I gave them a word, a good word from my Lord. Don't be afraid of nobody. Speak up. Don't be quiet. Let the people know what's going on and not what we got to do. Praise God. As leaders, praise God. And I thank for the ones, Ms. Pam and the rest of them, to talk to me. And I must say about this, the first thing I want to say, you did a great job for Ms. Small. Even though I wasn't able, I was up under the weather, but you did a great job. But when I looked and seen all them white engineers, I said, where the black people at? Praise God. So Ms. Betty was telling me, say they go in their own business. But maybe you need to go out and recruit. Thank you and God bless.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to public hearings. Number one, conduct a public hearing considering adopting an agency plan and update the 5-year plan. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved, Mayor. I'll second.
We have a motion and second. All in favor, raise your hand. Thank you very much. I have no one signed up to speak. Is there anyone like to speak here for, against, or about the item? There is no one here to speak about the item. Motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor, raise your hand. All right, back to council for recommendation.
I'll second that, Mayor.
We have a motion and a second. Ready to vote. All in favor, raise your hand. Thank you very much. Item number two, just so that the youth council knows what's going on, we have, this starts weeks ago, and we have, comes to council really the week before we see what the item's about, information about it. Then we have a work session on Tuesday night. So we've already discussed this, we had a lot of discussion about it. Then tonight we have public input as well as the vote. So that's why this sort of happens fast tonight. We've done a lot of work to get here. So number two, conduct a public hearing and consider the approval of an amendment to the agreement between the City of Concord and Bootsmead. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
Move to open the public hearing.
I'll second that, Mayor.
A motion and second. All in favor, raise your hand. Thank you very much. No one signed up for or against this. Is there anyone here who'd like to speak in regards to this item? There's no one here to speak about the item, so therefore a motion to close the public hearing. We have a motion and second. Ready to vote? All in favor, raise your hand. All right. Back to council for a recommendation.
Approve the amendment.
Second.
A motion and second. Ready to vote? All in favor, raise your hand. Thank you very much. Item number 3, conduct a public hearing to consider adopting an ordinance amending Article 7, Table 762A. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
I'll second that, Mayor.
We've got a motion and second. Ready to vote? All in favor, raise your hand. Thank you very much. All right. We closed the public hearing, is that right? It's moving so fast.
Yeah, we're going quick.
Okay, we are closed. Okay, back to council recommendation.
Do we close it?
Oh, no, we haven't closed it.
Then close it.
I have no one signed up for it. Anyone here to speak in regards to this item? There's no one to speak in regards to the item, so therefore, motion to close the public hearing.
So moved, Mayor.
And motion is second, all ready to vote? All in favor, raise your hand. All right, now back to council for recommendation.
Mayor, I move we adopt the ordinance.
Second.
For motion is second, ready to vote? All in favor, raise your hand. Thank you very much. Now we're going to move to item number 4, conduct a public hearing to consider adopting ordinance annexing 2.3 acres on Zion Church Road. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved, Mayor.
We have a motion and a second. Ready to vote? All in favor, raise your hand. Thank you. Public hearing is open, and we have one person signed up to speak, Joshua Masters. Would like to come forward and speak on this item? No comments at this time, all right. Anyone else like to speak in regards to this item?
Mr. Mayor, I will make a comment. There was a question on Tuesday at the work session from council about the triplex needing, the property needing to come in the city to build the triplex. Staff did go back to the county, and in the county zoning, the triplex is not allowed. That's why they're, again, one of the reasons they're seeking to come in the city.
Well, we not allowed under any zoning, or would it have to go back to their P and Z to be rezoned to allow
Under
triplex?
conditional kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, they would have to change the zoning, I presume. The zoning that's on the property in the county would not allow it. Is that correct, Kevin?
We do, yeah.
Yes, sir, the current zoning is low-density residential. The highest density it allows would be a duplex.
But they could apply to the county planning and zoning to revise that zoning just like us.
Potentially, just like any, any
So they,
process.
just to reiterate, they would have to go and do the same thing with the county, irregardless of coming to us and doing the exact same thing, correct?
You mean,
If we were to, yeah. If we were to,
yeah, they would
whatever.
have to go back to the county and,
So,
seek to
which
amend
we
the
talked
zoning.
about Tuesday night. Yeah, okay, got it. Thank you.
Right, Mayor, I have comments.
Go ahead.
So I did a site visit of this property. And as it was shared on Tuesday, I can't remember which members said or talked about the provision of public services. Looking at the road, it's a very rough and rugged road. I can't imagine a fire truck, an ambulance, maybe a police cruiser might could get back to that property. So those are my concerns, what public services we'll have to provide, and would our employees or equipment be able to access the property? So,
I move that we do not adopt the annexation.
Okay, we're still in public.
Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me.
So is there any further discussion? No one has.
Question, I don't know whether it should be asked now or once we close, just a question about, a general question. Now,
Why don't you go ahead and ask it?
curiosity, if there's not water or sewer or electric, how do we bill the waste and the stormwater? Do we bill people that don't have water? Robin, so they get a utility bill just for the stormwater and the solid waste?
Yeah, I mean, they would get a bill for the services that they receive, even if those services
Even if-
are, not everything that you normally would receive.
Well, you do have your time you signed up for, so please come forward. You have some time here, 3 minutes. unless you start getting questions from council.
Sure, yeah. Thank you all for taking a look at this. There were some great valid questions, comments about several things. A couple of things I would like to point out is this property is owned by a family. All three residents are the same family that are in this property. Initially, we went to the county with this and were met with some resistance given the zoning around the area does not necessarily support this, but directly across the street, there is multifamily. To the back side of it is Concord, the city of Concord's property, and that zoning, when we would need to rezone this to get it to fit the ordinance to build this triplex, and felt like the city of Concord would benefit from this property for a number of reasons. Bringing another family into the city of Concord, it's a great city to be in. Given the ongoing wastewater treatment situation, it's already approved for a septic system, so we do not need to hook up to the sewer system. There's water already along Zion Church Road, so we would be looking to attach to the City of Concord water. And as far as emergency services go, I would be inclined to say this is no different than any residence that is on a road or off a road that has a long driveway. I mean, there are hundreds of residents in the City of Concord that have an extended driveway to get to the property. Given that it's all family owned, I would believe that they could, service his family as needed to any standard the city has.
May I ask a question, Mayor? May I ask, what's your role, sir?
I apologize. My name is Joshua Masters. I'm the builder for this. I'm representing the family. Yeah, I apologize.
Thank you. I have a question for Kevin. This was the flagpole lot that we called a flagpole? Yeah, okay. Can we pull that back up? Is that? Or- Yeah, there it is. Yeah, okay, that's it. So the rough road is that flagpole, right, Betty? Okay.
That's correct.
So that rough road will be turned into a true driveway.
That's correct. It'll be improved when the structure is built. That is correct.
And I'll just comment. I didn't ride out there, so Betty, I appreciate you saying that piece of it, but it's also creating a donut hole. Just so you know, it's not that piece of it for me, and we're having challenges in the western part of the county with the donut holes that were created, so I do appreciate everything that you're saying from that perspective and agree. That's where my challenge lies, so just to kind of share that with council.
That would be one parcel that's being serviced by the city of Concord
With the
in that whole
surrounding knot,
whole area.
nothing across.
Thank you, sir.
Thank y'all.
Yeah. Anyone else like to speak? All right, motion to close public hearing?
So moved. Second.
Motion and second, ready to vote. All in favor, raise your hand. All right, back to council for recommendation.
I move that we do not adopt the annexation.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second not to adopt the annexation. All right, any discussion? We've had it. All right, ready to vote. All in favor of not adopting, please raise your hand. Okay, it's unanimous. Okay, thank you very, very much. Item 5, conduct a public hearing, case Z0123, and consider adopting an ordinance amending official zoning map of .23 acres. Is there a motion to open the public hearing? We have a motion and a second, ready to vote. All in favor? Thank you. I have two individuals who've signed up to speak on this. First of all, Jacob Jordan, correct? Come forward. You'll state your name and your address, and you'll have your three minutes there.
Yes. Hey, Mayor. Hello, Mayor, and hello, City Council. My name is Jacob Jordan, and my property address is 1089 Gaither Place. I just wanted to introduce myself and tell you a little bit more about my plans for the property. I attended the working session on Tuesday, so I know there was a few concerns about the case. So my company is Golden Little Star Child Care. We are a daycare, but we also have a contract with the CDSA here in Charlotte, the Children's Developmental Services Agency. So we provide play therapy, psychological services, family counseling to members that are in need. The CDSA serves kids age 3 to 0. So I'm seeking this property to be rezoned so I can serve more kids. Right now, with it being a residential property, there's significant restrictions on what I can do through the property, and a lot of the kids are in need of daycare services and also the services through the CDSA. So I'm looking to serve more kids. Once the property's zoned commercial, I'll be able to apply to become an official daycare center, and that expands the amount of kids that I can see, and also allows for the kids that I'm currently seeing to have that daycare be an option for them. So that's my plans for the property. I know there was concerns about me potentially expanding the property. That's not my goal at all. Beside me is actually a telecommunications company, so I doubt that I can even purchase that property. I mean, due to the size, so I mean, that's not my plan. So I'm here to, if there's any questions for me. let me know.
Question from council?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dr. Michael Walker? Welcome.
Hi, my name is Michael. I always get a little nervous talking to people that can talk back to me, 'cause I'm a dentist, so I'm used to being the only one that can talk. I'm a resident of Concord. I grew up here. I graduated from Cox Mill High School in 2015. I actually was on the Cabarrus County Commissioners Youth Council in high school, and I am aware of what Jacob is trying to do with the property in terms of expanding to service more children in our community through his contract with the CDSA. And I think that a lot of the services that he would be able to provide if this property was zoned commercially would be really beneficial to our residents here in Concord, especially speech-language pathology. There's a large need for that in our community, and if he was able to do that at this property, that would be a great help for the community and for the city of Concord. So, and I was also at the planning meeting on Tuesday, and I did hear a lot of the concerns about potentially packaging the property for some undesirable uses. But as he said, he doesn't have any intention of buying other property around or selling the property. So hopefully that can help alleviate some concern there.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak on this item? There's no one else wishing to speak, therefore, motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second that, Mayor.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please? Yes, go ahead.
Comments, questions?
Sure.
I can wait.
You can, yeah.
You want me to go now?
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and have the vote to close the public hearing, but then you'll be able to speak. Wait, before we vote. Yeah, we can, yeah. Okay, motion to reopen. All in favor? Okay, so we're back open now. Go ahead, speak.
Thank you. Sorry for the confusion. Just want to share a little bit about this area. Gaither Place is one of our lesser-known legacy or older neighborhoods in the city of Concord. I spoke with a few residents that live in that area, lifetime, residents. It's predominantly African-American, residential, generational people that live there. And, their concern is that, yes, maybe the plan is, to move forward with this daycare, but down the road, once it's rezoned to commercial, it can be sold if that doesn't work out, and something else can go there that may negatively impact the neighborhood. So I just wanted to pass that along.
Well said, Betty. Thank you. Close public hearing?
Yes, so to clarify, council members may have discussion after the public hearing is closed.
Yeah, so did I.
But while we're still open, I'd like to just ask staff a question about conditional use zoning again. Is that an option that would keep this from?
Yes, sir, certainly.
So that way, they could do it, if they came in back and applied for conditional use, and we were happy, and we approved that, then it could become what they want to do, but protect it from being used other things later.
Yes, sir. And staff, if that's your desire, staff would work very closely with them to craft that.
Okay, so we would still turn this, we would vote on this one first,
Yes, sir.
and then you guys move on from there, depending
Yes,
on
sir.
what we vote
Then
for.
we would work with the applicants, then it would go back to planning commission and then back to council. If you,
All right, I think we have it. Thank you very much.
yes, sir.
I want to make a comment before we vote, just to be clear on that piece of it. I like that idea because, Jacob, I want to support what you want to do because I do think it's needed and I do appreciate that. And I'm glad that we have an option that, and I do want to say that we'll, as staff, will commit to you, to work on getting that conditional use. Obviously, it would have to come back through the proper channels and we have to vote on it and all that good stuff. But I just want to make clear before we do that, that is exactly the way that I feel about that, so that it honors I used to live off Pine Circle Drive, so I know exactly where you're at, right in that neighborhood. And it honors what you said, Betty, and the concerns that were had, but it also honors the fact that you're able to continue the good work that you're doing there. So I just wanted to kind of make that statement.
Yeah, just a little follow-up, Jacob. We need daycare, so I support what you're doing. But if something out of your control were to prevent your plans and the property was rezoned just pure commercial, then anyone could buy it and do anything. So I think what we would really like would be a conditional zoning just for a daycare. That way, if anything happens, we know that it'll come back to us again before it's not a daycare, and then we protected everyone the best we can. I know it's going to cost you 2 months, but I think it's going to be necessary.
And again, I'll chime in. What everybody is saying, you'll see by nodding of heads up here and people talking, us talking as we are, that we're in favor of it. So if it comes back to us, you've got a good chance. So.
Okay. Back to council, motion to close public hearing.
Second.
All in favor, raise your hand. Now back to council for recommendation. I believe we have. Yeah.
Yes, can we get the
Got a statement of consistency.
statement of consistency?
Do we have to go through all that?
Yes, sir, we still have to do the whole order. So you see on the screen in front of you, suggested statement of consistencies. You have one supporting approval on your left. I had to think about which was the left and the right. One supporting denial on the right. And you are welcome to change those up in any way that you see fit, and I have it right here.
I would go ahead and move that we adopt the statement of consistency supporting denial that's shown on the right side of the screen.
The zoning amendment not reasonable and such. So, yeah.
Correct.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion is second. Or any more discussion? No discussion, ready to vote. All in favor of denial, raise your hand. Thank you very much. But
So we got the statement of consistency.
now
we need to approve or deny the rezoning. It's just a approve or deny. Yes, sir.
So I move we deny the rezoning request.
I'll second that.
a motion is second to deny the request. Ready to vote? All in favor, raise your hand. Thank you very much.
No, sir.
Step through, we don't have to do.
No, sir, because we're not changing the land use plan.
But
Can I make sure?
I think there's a direct direction here. So
Mayor.
staff's going to work with them accordingly. Okay.
And there's clarity on that? I just want to make sure that, you got clarity on that, Jacob, as to what just said? Because this is like super confusing, and I totally understand that, but if you get with Steve, he can explain that process to make sure. Okay, I just wanted to make sure we had clarity. Thank you.
Very good, very good.
Yeah,
All right.
Just to be very blunt, staff can work with you to make this happen. It's just going to cost you 2 months, and I apologize for that, but I think it's just a needed step. Sometimes our wheels move very slow, Jacob, so.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Item 6 was withdrawn, so we're moving on to presentations, petitions, and requests. Number 1, consider approving an allocation of $80,000 home investment partnership funds.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mary went over this item with council on Tuesday evening. This is a request before you to allocate $80,000 for our home funds. To Habitat for Humanity to construct 2 new homes. You can see the addresses on Academy Avenue, 285 and 291. So staff would ask for council's allowance to move forward on that.
All right, thank you. Recommendation from council?
Mayor, I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Ready to vote? All in favor, raise your hand. Thank you very much. Item number 2, consider a motion to approve the purchase of 228, 234, 236, and 240 McGill Avenue Southwest.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mary went over this item as well on Tuesday evening. This is an exciting project for the city. The council received the initial presentation on this item at the planning session in January. Steve and staff gave the presentation. So tonight, before you is the request to purchase these 5 parcels located on McGill in the amount of $200,000 for us to move forward with the project as described to council.
Thank you, Lloyd. Is there a motion?
Yeah, Mayor, I'd be happy to make this one. I would go ahead and we approve the purchase of 228, 234, and 236, and 240 McGill Avenue.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Ready to vote? All in favor, raise your hand. Thank you very much. Item number 3, consider awarding a bid for rehabilitation of hangar taxi lanes at Concord Pageant Regional Airport.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Staff did receive bids on this on March 23rd. And as you can see and heard from Dirk, on Tuesday night, the low bid is Blythe Brothers. The bid is the base bid along with 6 alternatives. The amount of the bid before you is $3,592,033.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion from council to approve? A motion and a second. Ready to vote? All in favor, raise your hand. Thank you very much. Item number 4, consider authorizing the city manager to negotiate and execute a contract with Kimley Horn.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. George presented this item to council on Tuesday evening. This is for work to be done, design work at Clark Creek Greenway, full design for Phase A and partial or 50% design for Phases B and C. The contract will be with Kimley Horn, as you stated, in the amount of $515,000.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion? We have a motion and a second. Ready to vote? All in favor, raise your hand. Thank you. Item 5, consider authorizing city manager to negotiate and execute a contract with Central Carolina Air Conditioning Company.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This contract is in the amount of $116,425 to replace the carbon dust collector at Cottle Creek Water Treatment Plant.
Thank you. Is there a motion from council?
And I'll second, Mayor.
A motion and a second. Ready to vote? All in favor, raise your hand. Thank you very much. Item 6, consider authorizing city manager to negotiate and execute a contract with AM Liner East.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Kevin did go over this item with council on Tuesday evening at the work session. This is our annual sewer lining contract. You can see the amount listed in the agenda, $1,189,069.35.
All right, thank you. Is there a motion from council?
35 cents. I'll second.
Motion and second, including that 35 cents. Ready to vote? All in favor? Raise your hand. Thank you. Item 7, consider approving a resolution to lease property from long-term Selco Verizon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As Kevin described on Tuesday evening, council did take action on this lease in February. The resolution before you tonight is required in public advertisement as well in order for this to be fully executed.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion from council? We have a motion and a second. Ready to vote? All in favor, raise your hand. Thank you very much. Item number 8, consider authorizing Transportation Department to apply for carbon reduction program.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is a grant funding request that we would like to apply for. The project that we have in mind is $1,500,000. And as Philip described on Tuesday evening, the city participation would be 20% or $300,000. So we'd like for council to allow us to move forward on this grant request.
Thank you. Is there a motion from council? I'll second that. A motion and a second. Ready to vote? All in favor, raise your hand. Thank you. Item number 9, consider approving City of Concord co-sponsorship policy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ian went over this item with council on Tuesday evening. This is something that has been much needed for city staff for quite some time now. So this would establish a co-sponsorship policy and put into place a procedure by which individuals and or groups could ask the city to co-sponsor their events. So we'd ask for you to allow us to move forward and put this policy in place.
All right, thank you. Is there a motion from council?
Mayor, I move to adopt the policy.
We have a motion and a second. Ready to vote? All in favor, raise your hand. Thank you very much. Number 11, consider a preliminary application from John and Barbara Hawley Jr.
Number 10.
Oh, number 10, sorry. Consider authorizing city manager to negotiate an execute contract for construction with Lyles Construction.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is for the demolition and replacement of the pump house at Rocky River Golf Course. Lyles Construction was the low bid on this project in the amount of $134,641. Staff would like for council to approve this for us to move forward with this project.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion from council?
Move to approve, Mayor.
We got a motion and a second, ready to vote. All in favor, raise your hand. Thank you. Now, number 11, consider preliminary application from John and Barbara Hawley Jr.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You heard from Ms. Hawley earlier. Sue described this project to council on Tuesday evening, so before you is the request for water and sewer services at 5405 Kiwi Court. And so the recommendation is to allow this to move forward excluding annexation.
Thank you. Is there a motion? A motion?
Second.
And a second. Any discussion?
Yep. Ms. Hawley's comments, and I may not have heard correctly, but I want to make sure that we're approving connection of water and sewer. The right-of-way is not in our, that will be all on Ms. Hawley to secure the right-of-ways to get her water and sewer connections to us. Is that clear? She nodded?
Yes, she
Okay,
did.
I'm good then.
She nodded. Okay. Any other questions from council? Discussion? All right, ready to vote? All in favor, raise your hand. Yeah, I was just seeing how long you'd hold yours up. Good job. Number 12, we already had the voting delegate and alternate for the upcoming City Vision 2023. Consent agenda, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Mayor.
Motion second, all in favor, raise your hand. Thank you very much. Moving forward to items not on the agenda, transportation, TAC.
TAC met on March 22nd. Almost everything was very routine. There was an M-tip modification where the Board of Transportation has modified different projects that are approved. One of them is ours, and it's the Bruton Smith Boulevard Sidewalk Project, and the right-of-way has been delayed 1 year to fiscal year 2025. That was it.
Thank you. The MTC, they're sort of in disarray right now, so we're just sort of listening every month to see what the latest thing will be. I'm sorry. Just, that's the Metropolitan Transit Committee out of Mecklenburg County that we're an ex officio member of, so we just sort of sit there and listen. Central Line or Regional Council?
No report.
Report. CK Transit Commission, we had our meeting this month, and the primary thing was approving the budget. LJ's not here tonight. Anybody want to? We approved the budget. Yeah, anything else?
We also, they discussed the customer satisfaction program plan, which I think is great going forward. And they provided informational updates about different projects and collaborative efforts that they're in, such as with the reentry and the Sun project.
Correct. There was nothing, nothing came out as similar to the Metropolitan Transit, so I felt really good about that. Wasac? Okay. I did, I was having to aviating over the top of that, and I noticed is that the work starting on the 2027 part of it?
There's pieces of it that are kind of being brought along. There's orders that are being done, but not really.
Right,
So,
right,
yeah.
but it's.
Yeah, but it's moving along. I'll have new photos for you guys next week.
Excellent. Thanks for all your work on this. This is moving us forward fast. We build Concord.
Dr. Graham's not with us tonight. I'll give just a quick one. Lincoln Street is moving forward. It is a large project, so it's moving fairly slowly, but it's moving forward. The Kerr Street project, we've got preliminary drawings, mechanical, electrical, plumbing. Saw some drawings today in our construction meeting this morning, and it's a very exciting project, so you'll be seeing more about that. And the Corbin Avenue senior rental units are moving forward. We've got some site contracts that are signed to try to get that developed, and actually hope to bring you a little snippet Tuesday at the work session. because it kind of fits with our cottage, uh, tiny home discussion, and we'll show you something that we're proposing for those senior units, which is very exciting. So that's it for WeBuild.
Okay. Public Art Commission? Anything to?
Quick question. Applications, I assume, are coming in, and at some point, this group will have to nominate people to serve on that. Is that correct?
That's correct. And so, as council's aware, the way that committee or advisory group is set up is, one person per district. And so, as opposed to just gathering applications, we've got to go through them and make sure that there's at least one representative or someone that has applied in each of the districts. And so I've asked the city clerk to go through that, and she'll be getting that information to me and the mayor so we can kind of put together a small committee to go through those applications and work through that process.
Thank you. Concord United Committee?
Mayor, members of City Council, Ms. Kolchinsky and Mr. Payne. I'm here instead of Jamae Brown tonight. Jamae is not able to attend, and she asked me if I would give the report, which I'm glad to do. The Human Resources Department and the Police Department have both completed their meetings with Concord United, and so they're taking that information and working on making some recommendations that they can bring to you in the annual report. The Fire Department will be meeting with them in the month of April, so that'll be coming up, and I know Jake and his team are ready to go. And then finally, one of the things that they have been looking at is when someone calls for help, one of the things that we aren't able to provide is mental health services, because of course that's a county function. And so they're working on trying to determine, how we could perhaps partner with the county to, be more helpful when people call and need help. So that's something they're still investigating, and they will be working on that, and you'll probably hear more about it in the annual report.
Thank you. I have one thing to add. I got a call yesterday dealing, yes.
I may be out of order, but am I allowed to piggyback on that and make a comment? I serve
There's
on the
really,
council.
yeah.
I serve on the committee.
Yeah, I would just touch base with Pam, and she will get us the information. We really don't have a process for that.
But we need to hear it tonight, though.
No, we can't.
I would move we suspend our rules and hear from Mr. Anderson.
Okay.
For 3 minutes.
Okay, all in favor, raise your hand. All right. Please, come forward.
Thank you. I just wanted to clarify a little bit. One of the things that we spoke about when we spoke to the police department was the process that our citizens go through when they call in for emergency services. And currently, if I'm correct, the options that a citizen has is police, fire, and EMS services. Some cities today have offered a fourth option when citizens call in, and that is for mental health. When I spoke to Chief Gasick, he indicated that he would be, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chief, because I'm just going by my memory, but he indicated that he would be interested in seeing the city look into our options on adding this additional 911 option for the citizens, particularly in nonviolent situations. Chief Gasick used the word co-responder, so I'm assuming that he meant a mental health person could be called out to help along with a police officer so that they would be there if they were needed. What the council, not what the committee, Concord United Committee, is recommending is that the city council, in conjunction with the county commissioners, if that's needed, go ahead and start a review to see if that's something that the city and county would recommend making a change so that option could be added.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, are we? Almost. I got a call yesterday dealing with Coleman Mill, Coleman Mill, the affordable housing, and they are planning to close on that June. That's the first time I've heard a hard date. So that was just sort of out of the blue, and that's what I asked. I did the same thing. I said, is this a 23 thing? Yes, it's just not a June. So we'll see. So our next move here is that we are going to move that we go into closed session pursuant to NC General Statute 143-318, 11A, 3 and 4, in order to, 1, consult with an attorney to protect attorney-client privilege, and to give instructions concerning a judicial action titled Concord, City of Concord versus Barber Scotia College Incorporated, and 2, to discuss the location expansion of industries or other businesses in the area served by this public body. Is there a motion?
So moved, Mayor.
And a second. We got a motion and a second. Ready to vote? All in favor, raise your hand. Thank you very much. We are moving into closed session. So everyone have a good evening, and thank you for being here.
And you're doing the next and Pruitt first, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you all for letting me be here.